Hi, this is Real Men Unscripted with D&D, Derek and Domingo. We hope you enjoy this podcast.
All right, welcome back to Real Men Unscripted. I'm Derek.
I'm Domingo. Welcome back.
And Domingo's my new sidekick because Jerry is going to be doing all the fancy stuff now.
The technical stuff.
The technical stuff. Yeah. Now I know
since he's not unemployed, he's retired again.
Yeah, retired again. But since some of you only listen and some of you watch, you got to watch the YouTube because that's when you see all the little memes that he puts up. Oh man,
yeah.
That's what
really
makes it funny, and
especially the my story with that guy with the eyes. Oh my god,
yeah, the guy you ran from.
I got to add to that because my sister saw it. She saw the podcast and she's like, "Hey, you left one thing out that's important."
Okay,
and I was like, "What did I leave out?" She's like, "Remember, he was deaf and mute, so that's why he spoke the way he did, and that's why he didn't hear us coming into the room." So that was a very important part of it, why he responded to us.
So he's deaf, mute, almost dead, and you still ran from him.
I ran because he wasn't a threat to me.
I know. So you would think, okay, for all the cops out there listening,
95%
you only
would
run from the threat. I mean, you don't. You run towards the threat, but I'm saying, like, if they were shooting at you, you could maybe no one was shooting at you and you ran away.
Exactly. Because he wasn't a threat. He was naked. He had no weapons.
Oh, my God.
And I thought he was dead. My brain said, this guy's dead. And for him to come out and go, oh, I pushed my partner and I ran. Simple. And 99% of the cops would have done the same thing. You're not going to put...
Not me.
What are you going to do? Jump on top of him?
I would have just stood there.
Baton him?
I would have just stood there and been like, "Hey, are you okay, sir? We got a lady here that wants to talk to you." Like, hello. That's why we're here.
If you would have been in the moment and we all both of
the
us,
other guy didn't run
because I pushed him into him.
Have you talked to him since then and told him what you said?
No, I haven't. But
you need to. We need to get him on here and hear the real story. That's what
I pushed him into the guy, so he didn't have a chance to run, or else he probably would have pushed me and ran.
I still think that's crazy. So. I just got done. That's why I was a few minutes late to our podcast. I just got done getting a massage because I hurt my back 3 weeks ago. And I went to the chiropractor. I went to a massage on Tuesday night. This guy did a horrible job. My regular
masseuse
or massage therapist is probably busy. So anyhow, I went to this place. I told them I would promote the place. It is called the European
Happy Ending?
Yeah, no, European Massage Therapy School on Sahara, in Las Vegas. So it's a 10-month school that they have to go to. They have to do like 800.
So it's like a training.
Yeah, so like 800 hours or something like that, right?
Of massages?
Yeah, hours of class plus you have to do a certain amount of massages, things like that. So anyhow, I had a lady named Samantha today. She was super good, right? So, but when we were laying there,
we or you?
Huh?
You said, well, we're laying there. Why is she laying next to you?
Okay, let me be clear. As I was laying face down, and she was working on my back, because my back was sore. I was telling her how my regular masseuse is probably busy and I haven't been able to get in to her. So she says, "Hey, do you know the difference between a masseuse and a massage therapist?" And I was like, "No." She goes, "A masseuse gives you a happy ending."
Oh, wow.
So I had to make it clear that
that's not what you want.
Masseuse is my actual massage therapist, and there's been no happy endings. Let's just be clear on that. And I told her that anytime I've gone for a massage, I've never had a happy ending. But I did tell her about my buddy who worked for Boise Police Department, and I went to I actually tried to get on with Boise PD at one point in 2006. And anyhow, this dude had to do a sting with a bunch of the Asian massage parlors, and he had to get them to say that he wanted a happy ending.
Oh, wow.
And so he busted a bunch of them and everything, because when I was there, I was like, hey, I think I want to maybe get a massage. And he was like, well, don't go to these places because we just did a sting and we just hit them and da-da-da-da. So, yeah, so it made me remind me of that. But, yeah, so no happy ending, unless it's with my wife.
Okay, well, here's the other thing, though. You had a masseuse, right, before you knew the definition, right? Why didn't that masseuse tell you the difference?
Well, that's what she asked me, actually. She goes, hey, this person,
the massage therapist
that you normally go to, have you ever said masseuse to her? I was like, to be honest, I don't think I don't think I said, hey, you're my masseuse. Like, I don't know that we ever talked about it, so if we did, I'm sure she would correct me, but I don't recall ever saying.
Not even in conversation, like, with her?
Yeah.
Like, hey, Jerry, this is my masseuse.
No. I don't think I've ever.
Or she could say, whoa, wait a minute.
Yeah, no.
And then you see the punch flying from the corner.
Yeah, no.
From her husband.
I don't think we've ever talked about it, to be honest. I just know she either comes over to my house or I go over to her house. But yeah. So that was very interesting to
Here you go, Derek. You want a shovel? You want a shovel?
So very funny that I got to find that out. But I did make an appointment for a month from now to go back and see Samantha.
Okay, well, what incorporates a good massage for her back? Do they step on you like you see on TV?
No, but she...
Is it like deep tissue?
So he was like this, and then she was like...
it's deep tissue.
Yeah, I told her to be a little more deeper than he was. Because, he was the first time I'd ever had a male massage therapist.
But was he skinny or was he big and muscular?
No, he was pretty skinny.
That's probably why.
Didn't hardly speak any English. I think that was part of the problem.
Oh, he was like European or something?
No, I think he was Mexican.
Oh, Mexican.
I think. I don't know. I don't know what language he was. You
couldn't understand one Spanish word.
No. I don't know that he was speaking in Spanish. It was like broken English.
Gotcha. The accent.
And I know there is because she told me that there is the Spanish side, which could mean anybody that speaks Spanish, right?
Oh, yeah.
Or the English side. So yeah, when I was showing him where I was sore, he's nodding, and I'm like, I really want this area worked on. He was nodding, but then when we were done with the massage, he never worked that area like hard, and he was like, we're done. I was like, I thought you were going to work this area. Okay, 5 more minutes. So he worked 5 more minutes on it. So when I made the appointment with Samantha, I told the guy, hey, this other guy didn't really do what I want. Can I have a more senior person that, and so they gave me this Samantha girl. So
now, how do you feel now?
I feel a lot better. I have 3 days off. It's just, throwing that gun belt back on. Then by the end of the day, my back's sore again.
Because you're sitting.
I really pulled it hard. She thinks that I might have done it because I told her I was doing back and buys. She said I might have actually. My chiropractor thinks it was the leg press.
Yeah.
Because my butt came off of it a couple times. She thinks it might have been a bicep exercise that I was doing and strained. So I don't know. Who knows what I did, but it hurt. It still hurts.
Yeah, because you've been complaining about it for a couple of days now. Actually, more than a couple of days.
No, weeks.
Yeah, weeks. Yeah.
So
at least you feel better now.
Yeah. So this past week, well, anyhow, your wife's doing good, and then
yes,
everybody's doing good.
Yeah.
And do you want to talk about Kevin at all?
No.
No. Okay. Kevin's doing good.
Yeah, Kevin's doing good.
And Ethan's doing good in the academy so far?
Yeah, he's doing good. He's loving it. He's coming home exhausted every day. Mentally,
so it's like an 8 to 5 type thing?
Yeah, actually more than that, because they're expected to be there earlier than
when they really get paid. Exactly. Or they don't. Is he getting paid though, right?
Yeah, he's getting paid
while he's going through. Okay.
Yeah, he had to do all that paperwork for the union and paycheck and all that. But yeah, he's enjoying it. He's loving it.
So y'all remember a few weeks ago, Jerry and I were, Jerry, right? It was me and you, right? Jerry, it was me and you when we were talking about the jumping of that was
The
still
Superman.
That was still me and you, right?
Yeah.
So a few weeks ago, maybe a month ago now, Jerry and I were talking on one of the podcasts about this gentleman who jumped over and attacked that one judge, Holtis. So anyhow, her marshal's still out. I did see him the other day. He's still in a sling.
How's his head?
Head looked fine. He was in a sling, because he had his
shoulder surgery.
Yeah, shoulder surgery. So she was going to have a jury trial, a civil jury trial, on Monday, and our civil jury trial went away. So she asked if I could help this guy that's a new marshal, because he really
training him, or is he
just kind of help him. Because during voir dire, for those of you who don't know, voir dire is where you get the group of, so we grabbed, like 70 people and they're prospective jurors, and you bring them in, and the judge asks a bunch of questions, and then and kicks people off by how they answer, and then the attorneys get to ask questions, and that's how you select the 10 jurors that you need for a civil. You only need 10 because 8 deliberate and 2 alternate. So on Monday, we have the first 70, and by 5 o'clock, we were down to 32 people, so she requested another 25 the next morning on Tuesday. So on Tuesday, 25 more come in, and the excuses these people come up with are crazy.
I can only imagine.
We've talked about it before, but they come up with all kinds
I'm surprised they actually showed up.
Well, yeah, but they don't. You can get arrested.
I've never seen it.
For contempt of court, yeah.
25 years on, I've never heard of a juror.
Well, because you've probably never arrested someone for that. But
that's true.
A warrant. But
and I wouldn't, because I don't hate jury duty.
So anyhow, this guy, he's in the front row, and right in front of him is like the defense. Basically, it's 2 attorneys, and then
the little wall thing.
Yeah, there's a wall, and then there's seats where the defense, and it's the two attorneys and their representative, right? Because he's not technically a defendant because they're suing a business. So he's the representative, and then next to him is the IT person. Actually, the IT person didn't start till the next day. So 3 of them there, and he grabs this. So the judge, had asked at this point, basically had asked questions, and then when she got to this one, it was like, is there any other reason why you can't serve? Because she tells him it's a 2-week trial, blah, 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 the hours, all that stuff. So anyhow, he gets up because she has him stand up.
Now, who is he? A prospective juror?
Prospective juror.
Okay.
He stands up. This big fat white guy stands up. Sorry, it's probably rude of me, but he
just a description.
Yeah, just a description. He had glasses, and he stands up, and he has the microphone.
And he's where, in the front row?
He's in the front row, and then there's the wall, and then these attorneys, right? And he literally leans in towards the attorney and basically points and basically yells, I hate all attorneys, and he's looking at them. I hate all attorneys. And then he turns to the other table, which has now the plaintiff, the man that is suing this business, and says, and I hate criminals.
It's a civil trial.
It's a civil trial. But he says, I hate criminals. So the judge right away says, sir, first of all, there's no criminals in here. This is a civil trial. And he says, well, I don't care. I hate all attorneys. And then this was the one that just really got me excited the other night. He then goes on to
excited in a bad way, though, right?
To explain how scared. Now, this guy, did I say what he did for a job?
No, you haven't.
Oh, okay. So at the beginning, he states that he's a retired lieutenant from the prison before he says, I hate all attorneys.
Wow.
So he's criminals. Like you. He ran, you ran from I
don't run from attorneys.
But this guy
definitely don't run from criminals.
Was a lieutenant in a prison and
retired. So that means he did 20, 30 years. He
says, Your Honor, I'm scared to be here. I'm scared to be in this courthouse. And she's like, like, she's like shocked like I am.
And this is the same judge that had the guy Superman onto her, right?
Yeah.
And she's not scared to be there. And this is a retired lieutenant.
And you know what?
Scared.
I should have said that. Well, I confront the guy afterwards.
Afterwards, gotcha.
Okay. So, and I should have said that.
Yeah, you should have.
But I didn't think of it at the time.
Because
right?
you were seeing red.
So at one point, she gets rid of like 8 people, and him being one of them, for all these different reasons. He was the only one that was scared, right? But to be in a courthouse. I mean, he really wasn't getting released because he was scared. Because he said he hates attorneys and criminals, and all that. That's pretty much why.
Biased.
That she's got to get rid of him, right? So as he's leaving, because there's this other marshal in there, I'm like, hey, stay here. I'm going out. And he said, okay. So I go out, and as the 8 of them are exiting, I said, hey, sir, are you really scared? And he stops and turns around.
He didn't run?
No.
He said he was scared.
He turns around, and he starts walking towards me. And I said, sir, I really seriously, you're scared to be, and I opened my arms like, you're scared to be at this courthouse? Like, really, come on. And he's like, well, I don't want them to know my information and this and that. And he's just going on. And I'm like, dude.
Well, if he's a juror,
and then he tells me
his information.
Yeah. But then he tells me, which makes it even worse. He then says, well, I was in the military and I was in intelligence. And I'm like, dude.
Wow.
You're telling everybody you're scared to be here. I wanted to call him a wuss. I wanted to call him a wuss. You could put a cat in there when I say that. So I really wanted to call him that, but I didn't.
Well, there's other ways of saying it without saying it.
But I basically said, sir, I can't wait till after when I retire to actually be on the other side and see how, people deliberate and what they're thinking when they're back there. But you're too scared to do that?
Wow.
And I just couldn't believe it that he did that, right? And then I had another guy that after Monday night, I tell them, hey, you all have to come back because we haven't, obviously picked a jury. And he was like, hey, this ticket, so they give him not a subpoena, but it's a
parking pass?
No, it's a piece of paper. It's a jury summons.
Oh, yeah.
Jury summons. So he's holding the jury summons and he points to it and he goes, this said to only report today, and I reported today. And I'm like, sir, I understand that, but we haven't picked a jury yet. So the judge told you have to come back tomorrow. And he says, I'm not coming back tomorrow. I said, okay, well, of course he says it in front of everybody, right? That I'm explaining that you all have to come back. And I said, well, okay, she'll just have to put out a warrant for your arrest. So anytime you're driving and you get arrested, you'll know that it's from this warrant. And I just said, whether you come back or not, a warrant will probably be issued and have a nice night. So they all left. He obviously thankfully, he came back the next day. But then he got up, he made it to the box. So there's a box of 20 people that's who does
prospective jurors
that do most of the talking. And once we have the 20 that after the, both sides go, that's how they get their 10. So he makes it into the box and he basically said all kinds of stuff so he could get released. And of course he did.
But what did he say though? Was he scared too?
So the plaintiff has, and so, take that part out.
Yeah.
Probably shouldn't say what he had. But anyhow.
HIPAA.
Yeah. No. But I mean, he has whatever he has, right? He said that his dad had it and was in a home at some point and had trouble. And so he basically just said because of that, he doesn't think he could be non-biased towards the plaintiff side, right? So
now this is a person going against a business?
Yeah.
Plaintiff is a person and then the business
so the
is
plaintiff, so the plaintiff got injured at this, it was like a hospital, not really a hospital, but more of a
clinic type?
No, like a place that I don't want to say the name.
Yeah.
That's why I'm trying to be, because the trial's still going on. But so probably shouldn't even talked about it till a couple weeks later. But
we're not naming names.
So it's like a clinic that after you have an operation, you go there and you get physical therapy and things like that. And so anyhow, something happened while he was there, and they're not covering, so he had to sue. You know, that's all about civil, is all about money, suing, things like that. And
well, that's every day in America.
So, but some of the stuff that people, you know, some were legit. Like one, she was going out of town for a wedding. She was in a wedding, so yeah, judge is like, yeah, we don't want you to miss the wedding, you know. So, but yeah, 2 full days of that before they finally picked a jury.
I could see why you looked upset for the last 2 days.
Yeah, but just being scared. I've never heard anyone say that. I've heard people say, I don't want to sit on a jury because everybody in jail looks like me. I've had that. I'm not going to make any money, and I got to make money, and, you know, so I don't want to be here. But we had a guy that from Laughlin, and he actually stayed on the jury.
Really?
Because he gets paid mileage, all that. He's like, I'll stay, you know. But, I mean, it's things like that. People will do anything and everything to get out of them. So
yeah, I remember when I hired on. We were still getting subpoenas, right? So I'm like, whatever it is, 6-7 months on the job. So I get a subpoena, take it to my boss, sergeant at the time, and he's like, yeah, you got to go. Like, you're not.
Wait, subpoena or for jury service?
For jury summons.
Okay, jury summons.
Jury summons.
There is a difference, if you want to explain.
Yeah, the subpoenas when you get called to court by either the defense or the prosecution as a witness or as the defendant. So it wasn't a subpoena, it was a jury summons. And this is the first time I've ever had one. Never been called because I was in the military. You don't get called when you're in the military. So I went to this jury, right, or whatever it was, a courthouse, and I'm there. I go to the guy. I'm like, listen, I'm a cop. He's like, and? I'm like, oh, okay. Well, in my head, that's what they told me to say. Just say you're a cop, they'll let you go.
Yeah, they don't anymore.
No. So then I did the whole thing, sat down. Interesting, you're in this like big room and there's like hundreds of us with numbers or whatever. I'm like, oh, okay. So then I get selected to go to a jury. Same thing. Then they ask, what do you do or whatever? And I'm like, I'm a police officer.
They hand you the mic.
Exactly.
You got to say if you're married.
Yeah, married.
There's like a whole script.
How long you been here and whatever. And then, so as soon as I said I'm a cop, dismissed. Go back.
Was it a criminal or a civil matter?
Criminal. These were all criminal.
So that's why you got dismissed right away.
But I go back to the pool. And they keep calling me. This went on 3 times.
Oh, wow.
And I never got selected. So afterwards, I went to the foreman, I think it is, the jury foreman or whatever that person is, the person in charge of the jurors. There's like a table in front, and that's where they sit. So I went, and I'm like, listen, I just got here. I went to all 3 of these. I told you I was a cop, and I got dismissed right away. Like, why am I even here? He goes, you're a cop? We should have stopped you at the door. So I look right away to see if I see that guy at the door. Well, he's not there anymore. And I'm like, it's not really wasted a day because I got to see the whole process.
And you're getting paid.
Yeah, exactly. And I knew I wasn't going to get selected. But since that day, I've never been called again. I've never gotten a jury sentence. And this is 1997.
Well, I'm going to make sure they send you one now.
No, don't say that. I hope Clark County doesn't see this.
No, but in California, when they send it to you, there on the back, there's a spot that you actually mark.
That's your law enforcement?
Yeah, it'll say 836.1 PC or whatever, something like that.
Gotcha.
That's the penal code for a cop.
Yeah.
So you just mark it and you send it back.
And they know.
And then then you don't have to report. That's only if you're active. I mean, if you're retired, you'd have to go.
You still have to go. But you're still not going to get selected.
No, but here they don't do that. They still have them come in, and like I say, if it's criminal, you're definitely.
Well, the whole time I was on, I've never known of one cop to be on a jury.
Not even a civil jury?
Nothing.
Yeah.
And it's just like that. I mean, you can't use that, obviously, if you're not a cop.
Right,
but
right.
To me, that's like the best way to get out of a jury. But now that I'm retired, I've been waiting for that jury summons to hit my door.
Yeah, I'm going to make sure you get one. I'll tell the lady. I'll tell
If
Miranda.
it's civil, I'm fine.
Miranda, she's in charge of it.
Yeah, I'll go in there and I'm scared. I hate cops and I hate judges.
I'm telling you, man, it was crazy. It was crazy. Yeah. So
what did your judge say afterwards?
So I went and told her that I confronted the guy just in case he
complains or something.
Complain or something.
He even has no.
She's cool, man. She's like, she was like, I won't tell you what she said, but yeah, she couldn't believe that some of the stuff she hears from, she's heard it like me.
Now, I got a question though. That was a civil trial, right?
Mm-hmm.
The guy that did the Superman on her, that was a criminal trial.
Right.
So she does both?
She has what's called a split calendar. So 1 week's or 1 month civil, 1 month's criminal, 1 month civil, or I don't know if they go every other week, whatever. I know she's like during the trial, she was still going to have her criminal calendar in the morning. So yeah, she my judge is all civil. She won't do criminal. But yeah, that's a split. She does a split, and several of them do split time. So
that's awesome.
All right, so coming down to the end.
Story time. Got it.
So do you have another story about like your law enforcement career?
Oh yeah, I got a great one. So last we were talking about coroners and dead bodies or whatever.
Right.
So the first dead body that I ever got to, I'm in field training, right? And my field training officer was actually good friends with the coroner at the time. I actually became good friends with him as well. But anyway, so I'm there, and there's this guy that it's by whatever that male strip club is called.
Shit, I don't know.
Right by the old Hard Rock Hotel. The Australian whatever people get naked in there. What is that thing?
Thunder from Down Under?
Yeah, that one. So there's a club
How does
there.
Jerry know that?
I have no idea. But
he used to work there as a male.
But there's a club there, and this like hotel was right next to it. It's gone now, but it's there. And then so we get a call. Same thing. Check the welfare. Haven't seen him in a long time. Guy's an older gentleman. Anyways, we get in, and I'm a rookie. Right, I got like 4 weeks on the job, not including the academy because that's not being a police officer. Right. So my field training officer, gone. Like I look back and I'm like, where did this guy go? Right, so I'm like, all right. So we walk in, the coroner had already beaten us there, and in my entire time, I've never had the coroner beat us on any call. Usually we get there first.
Right.
But for some reason he was there. I don't remember if it was suspicious or whatnot in the beginning, but it wasn't. It was just natural death. So anyways, me and the coroner go in. We see him, and I'm like, all right, he's dead. You already said he's dead. You called it.
Okay, so do you check for PKI? I
didn't check anything because the coroner was there.
You didn't check his...
Nope.
So how do you know he's dead?
Because the coroner did it. That's what I'm saying. Me and the coroner.
So you didn't get to do that?
No, me and the coroner walked in. No.
Open his eyes.
Nope.
They're fixed and dilated is how you have to write it in the report.
Nope. So he went in. I stayed by the door because it stunk like bad. And this is the first time I've learned it. But my FTO, there was like a plant of like mint leaves. So they were like just growing there. So he's like, you might want to put a couple of those in your nostril. And in my head, I'm thinking, I ain't stuffing no freaking leaves in my nostril. So I went in. Oh, the smell was like, oh my God, overwhelming.
So he'd been down a while?
Yeah. Well, it was in the middle of summer. And he was bloated. Right? He was, because we saw his driver's license, he was like 160 pounds. But when you saw him, he looked like he was 300 pounds.
Oh, wow. And
I was like, whoa. Mind you, this is the first time I've ever seen this type of death. Right. So then the coroner's doing his thing, like you said, going in the eyeballs. And then I walk out. Right. And then my training officer's outside by the car. And he's like, what are you doing? I'm like, what do you mean? It's over. Like, I'm not the coroner. That's his job. He goes, no, you're going to help him. So then the coroner comes out and he's like, where did you go? Like, he knew I was a rookie. He's like, where'd you go, rookie or whatever? And I'm like, what's going on here? Like, this is not criminal. Excuse me. So anyways, go back in, right? And I'm talking about like this guy looks like his basketball right there, like perfectly round, right? So then he's doing all his thing, and then he's like, all right, turn him over. And I'm like, what? Like, me turn him over? He's like, yeah, turn him over. So as I grab him by the feet and I'm trying to turn him over, he explodes.
Oh, yeah.
And then I explode. I just projectile
You threw
vomit.
up?
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I threw up all over him, the ground. I went out and I threw up in the bushes right next to the door. I was just like, wow. I mean, just the smell, the gas, the visual. I was just like, wow. I've never experienced anything like that before. Then my FTO comes back, and back then they could smoke, so he was having a smoke. So he's like, "What are you doing? Get back in there." I'm like, "Are you kidding me? Did you just not see this?" So, yep, sure enough, I had to go back in there, and I had to finish the corner, let him do his job or whatever. And then
Like put him in a bag,
Well, no, then we have somebody else comes, like a mortuary comes, and then they're the ones that put him. He just inspects the body.
Okay.
Make sure there's no gunshot wounds, stab wounds, stuff like that. Make sure it's not a murder or whatever, homicide. But yeah, that was like my introduction to dead bodies that have been in 120 degree with no AC on for weeks.
So just want to be clear. You threw up on this dead body.
Yes, towards his legs. Not where he exploded. Because I projectile
And then you
vomited,
threw up outside.
and then I threw up on the ground as I'm running out, and then I threw up outside again. It was the most, I mean, for lack of a better term, it was the most disgusting thing I've ever experienced.
Man, you Metro guys, let's see, we run from a guy that's alive, and now we throw up on people. Man.
Yeah, I added to the crime scene if there was one.
Yeah, you did. Man. Wow.
Hope you guys got a kick out of that, and I hope you guys don't ever have to go through that.
Yeah, wow. All right, well, again, hit like and subscribe. Share it with your friends, family. We got to get our numbers of YouTube up. I think we hit 23
Did
people.
we? That's better than it was
Something like
last time.
Yeah, it was 16. So I think Domingo added 6 family members. So
Yeah.
anyhow, click and like, subscribe, and until next time, peace out.
Peace. Have a good one.
Hey, thanks for listening to Real Men Unscripted with D&D, Derek and Domingo. We hope you enjoyed this podcast.